Well, she used her voice to protect others, speaking out against a predator who was using the NDIS to meet up with young female carers. But Lucy's employer would have preferred she kept her mouth shut.
I found out by my employer the following day that I had been stood down as a result of exposing Thomas Hoffer.
Must have good communication skills, a good sense of humour, be fit, able to walk 5 kilometres and swim.
I'm not satisfied at the moment that the system is safe enough.
NDIS coordinator Lucy spoke out to make the scheme safer, and it cost her her job.
Immediately, I was obviously pretty upset that my intent behind coming to you guys and a current affair was to expose somebody that's potentially really, really dangerous within, you know, such a national system. And yeah, I was mortified to know that my employer didn't really take that as seriously as what was required.
NDIS Minister Bill Shorten has apparently been too busy to discuss a rapist using the NDIS to approach young women.
Hi Mr Shorten, Hannah Sinclair from A Current Affair. I just wanted to ask what you're doing about the fact that convicted rapist Thomas Hoffer was able to use the NDIS to meet up with female carers.
Yeah, I think it was very concerning and I've asked the agency to investigate.
When we confronted the minister about what he's doing to protect workers, security seemed more concerned about protecting him from being filmed with an iPhone.
Why wouldn't you come on our program to discuss this?
I didn't know I could. Thanks.
After bravely exposing convicted rapist Thomas Hoffer's suspicious tactics, Lucy has been sacked by her employer, Grace Professional Services, and one of the reasons was speaking out. Lucy was shocked to receive an email from her CEO, Sandy Grace, the day after she exposed Hoffer, who's on parole for raping 2 women and had been using the NDIS to message and advertise for fit female workers. The email said, "Dear Lucy, following the coverage on A Current Affair last night, I have decided to place you on suspension with pay so that I can undertake an investigation into your conduct. This is effective immediately."
What was your employer's issue?
I feel like, in her opinion, I've put the company into disrepute somehow, which again, I'm not sure how that's happened.
The original story didn't mention Grace Professional Services and in fact revealed Hoffer approached Lucy on her personal Facebook account.
Thomas at the time was seeking a support worker who was between the ages of 21 and 35 and female.
What does this say to you about the culture of that business and more broadly the culture of the NDIS?
That says to me that these sorts of things shouldn't be spoken out about. These sorts of things need to be silenced because of potential retribution. I feel let down, in all honesty. I feel like the system is maybe designed so that these people don't get exposed because obviously there's repercussions for the people that do speak out.
A leaked email reveals Lucy's CEO, Sandy Grace, also instructed her colleagues not to support her. Dear team, one of our team members has been interviewed for a national television program. This was done without my approval. I seek your support in containing this information as much as possible. I ask that you do not engage in discussion regarding this coverage. Please do not share or engage on social media in any way in relation to this topic.
Circulated around the office, with me not included. One of my colleagues had actually informed me that that had happened, and obviously that makes me feel immediately alienated, discrimination in a sense that I'm no longer part of that team.
Lucy's worked for Grace Professional Services for 3 years and claims she had approval to do freelance work on the side.
I saw this as being my forever job. And so now I have to say goodbye to all of my clients and all of the relationships that I've made, which, yeah, is really upsetting. 65 clients now that are left, essentially, without a handover, without a transition, and they're the only ones at the end of the day who, you know, are seeing absolutely no benefit from this whatsoever.
Do you think your employer cared more about its reputation than protecting young female workers from a convicted rapist?
It seemed as though at the time the focus was more so on what would happen as a result and not the actual underlying matter, which is really, really serious.
Over to you, Minister Shorten.
I'm saying that I'm happy to follow up the matter, but I'm not going to comment more until I have more facts.
So you will be getting in contact with her?
I've said I'm going to follow it up. And that was your 2 questions. Thank you.
Well, to be clear, Minister Shorten was asked to come on the program. We even told his office to pick the time and day, and we'd make it work. Late this afternoon, Lucy received calls from the NDIS Commission and Mr Shorten's office. Both claim they'll try to help. Good people can't be punished for exposing major flaws in the system. And as for Lucy's employer, radio silence.